Chakravarty, Assistant Professor Entomology at Advanced Entomology Sericulture Research Unit of Bihar Agriculture University, Sabor. And I am privileged today that Meadow Agriculture has given me an opportunity to deliver my talk on a very interesting topic, that is scope of utilization of insects as human food and animal feed. I think a good number of audience are from veterinary science. So animal feed as well as how the insects will be beneficial animal feed. So we will be having a discussion on this aspect today. In the lecture, I'll try to cover how the insects will be beneficial for us in terms of food security. What are the common edible insects? What is the status of entomophagy across the globe as well as in India? What are the benefits of using insects as food? The common insect recipes and the commodities which are available in the market? What is its use as animal feed? And some other uses like bioconversion of wastes and all. And what will be the ways to popularize this entomophagy or insect farm? So, if we are talking about food security, so this concept, we all are aware with this term. But actually, this concept means when the entire global population, each and every individual across the globe will have access to sufficient supply of food, safe supply of food, as well as a nutritionally balanced food so that he or she can lead a healthy lifestyle. Then we can consider ourselves or our nation or the entire globe as secure from food aspect. And two perspectives will be taken into consideration. One is the quantitative, another is the qualitative aspect. If we talk of quantitative aspect, then we need to first take care of the availability of food source. And that can be achieved by enhancing the food production as well as the supply of food. Then we need to think of accessibility of that enhanced production. So for each and every individual, it can be accessible only when it will be available in the market at reasonable prices. Third, we need to think of stability. That means the supply of food, what has been produced, need to be durable. It needs to be available over a long duration of time, uninterrupted by temporary interventions. And last, but also important, it should be nutritionally balanced and healthy. And it should be hygienic. Only when all these aspects will be there, then we can consider the food security aspect has been met. But unfortunately, there are several challenges that now we all are facing regarding food security. The first and foremost challenge is increasing global population. The galloping population that is increasing. By 2050, it is expected that our global population will exceed 9 billion. So the current rate of food production won't meet the demand of the individuals globally. There will be an acute shortage of food. So that is first and foremost challenge to food security. The second is we are all having a relentless march towards industrialization. So the arable land which is available, if we are thinking of increasing the food production, cultivation of grains or livestock farming and all, so you need land requirement will be there. But with industrialization, the cultivable land, it is declining day by day. Third and foremost challenge, the recent challenge that we all are facing is that of climate change. Adverse weather effects are there, complete crop failure takes place, incidence of pests and diseases are there. See, I'm an agriculturist, so I'm taking example of the crops. So for the farm or the livestock also such problems do taking place. So just I'm citing one example of maize. In maize crop, there is one insect pest that we all are aware of is fall armyworm. It is creating a havoc across the maize production areas of India and also globally. And before 2017, this pest was not existing in the country. So it is an alien pest, got introduced into the country, whatever may be the reason. Either it is the migratory potential of that moth that it made it possible to reach the country and whatsoever. But it is creating a havoc to maize production right now. That's also a human feed also as well as cattle feed also. So in this way, galloping increased population, reduced cultivable land and climate change, they are all posing a very serious threat to climate change in the present era. So how come then these insects can be an alternative for food security? Insects, we all know that these are the most dominant living organisms existing on Earth. More than 70% of all living organisms are insects. So food abundance will also be there. They are easily available. They have a very short lifespan and high reproductive potential. So they can be multiplied very quickly. Their feed conversion efficiency is high. And environmental impact will be low. The greenhouse emissions that we all talk about, methane gas production for livestock farming and all, it will be comparatively low, comparatively key. It will be very low in our case of insect farming. So environmental footprint, which will be having very less negative impact on our environment, this is insect farming. Secondly, it is very nutritious. It is a rich source of protein, minerals, fat, good saturated fatty acids. It's a very good source of insects are the very good source. So we can think of it as a nutrient source or an alternative food source. Third, for other farming, like for if we are thinking or talking about only animal proteins, then for rearing the livestock, you need to provide them fresh fodder and all. Insects can be reared on human wastes also and farm wastes also, the kitchen wastes also. So by converting the waste material into beneficial output, this can be done only by the insects. They have a very good efficiency in it. Fourth, you can produce a series of processed products, a series of food products from these insects as per the requirement. Even nowadays, for the astronauts in space, the protein sources, the insect protein is being targeted because they can be converted into pastes and it can be provided to them. And last, rearing of insects is very technically feasible. It is comparatively much cheaper and the output will be much higher. So because of these very reasons, insects can be a very beneficial alternative or an option for meeting the adverse effects of food security, and objectives can be fulfilled. So with this comes the concept of entomophagy, that means the practice of eating insects, though it is said to be entomophagy, but eating of arachnids like tarantulas, spiders, that also comes under entomophagy, and it is derived from the two Greek words. Entomon means insects and phagy means to eat. And actually, this is not a very new concept. There was one British entomologist, Vincent Holt. He was a renowned British entomologist. So way back in 1885, he only said that animal protein is very good for human health. And insects can be one of the very good option for meeting the animal protein requirement. So way back in 1885, this statement of Vincent Holt was considered to be very vague, because at that time, such shortage or such problems that we are facing nowadays, such things were not existing. But now, yes, his statement is really found to be very valid and it can be exploited. So there are a number of insects which are edible. I'm not saying all, because they are the most dominant organisms. 70% of living organisms on Earth are insects. But majority of the orders, there are 29 orders as per ADMs. So majority of the orders of insects are having edible insects, of which the majority are beetles from order Coleoptera. A good number of lepidopterans are also eaten, hymenopterans are eaten, grasshoppers, crickets belonging to order Orthoptera, they are also being fed, and very small proportion from Odonata, Diptera, and Isoptera, they are also being exploited for consumption. So this is a glimpse of some common insects which are being fed, like grasshopper, crickets you all have seen. Giant water bug, that's also very common, and if you are from agriculture background, you must have surely seen. The grubs, dragonfly, yes, the silkworm pupa. If we talk of silkworm, then definitely we think of silk. But yes, the another very potential source of nutrition is the silkworm pupa, and it is being exploited. In the coming slides, we will be learning much more about it, the silkworm pupa. The ants, the red ants, the wasps, termites, they are all very common edible insects. Now, this is the global status of consumption of insects. So majority of the areas where insects are being consumed is Africa. This is followed by other nations, like if from North and South America contributes 20% of the total consumption, Australia is there, then Asia, and at last the Europe. So in majority of the regions, the grasshoppers, ants, bees, silkworm pupa, they are the very common insects which are being consumed. And if we talk particularly of India, then airy silkworm, mulberry silkworm, termites, locusts, they are very common insects that are being consumed. Now this is the map of India, and it is depicting the regions marked in green color are the common regions where insects are being consumed. So majority of the northeastern states, it is very common in northeast region of the country, where insect consumption is a common practice, entomophagy is a common practice. In addition to it, Odisha, the tribal regions of Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, and even parts of Chhattisgarh, then Bihar, Jharkhand, the very small pockets in tribal regions, West Bengal, particularly the Birbhum region of West Bengal, Vardhaman region of West Bengal, it is being consumed. Then if we talk about south, then the northern Karnataka, the dry region, there also Tamil Nadu, termites are being consumed. It's very common over there. In Kerala region, rhinoceros beetle, it's a pest of coconut, but the grubs are being consumed. It is relished as a diet. Now, another graph shows that the number of edible insects per state, and we can clearly see that in the much more variety of options for consumption among insects is available in the northeastern states, while Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Odisha, insect consumption is there, but majorly termite, chutney, and all this by the tribals, they do prefer these things, but a variety of options are available in the northeastern part of the country. State-wise, again, if we talk about, then silkworm, pupa, red ant, termites, grasshoppers, and crickets. These are commonly eaten insects in India. Now, the first benefit of insect consumption will be the environmental benefit. If we talk about the feed conversion efficiency, that means how much amount of feed if consumed, then how much amount of mass gain will be done by the insect. And it is comparatively much higher as compared to the livestock. So conversion efficiency is very good in case of insects. Secondly, as we already talked about, that the greenhouse gas emission, that will be almost negligible or comparatively much lower in case of insect farming as compared to that of livestock farming. Third, they are efficient conversion of wastes into beneficial output. And the beneficial output can be your high quality protein, as well as in the process it produces a very good quality of compost. Then very significantly, much less amount of water is required for insect farming, and land requirement is also very low. So making these points are giving a positive impact of insect farming on environment. So this is a graph that is depicting its effect in comparison to livestock farming or poultry farming. If we compare insect farming, then the total CO2 emission, if we compare, it is much lower in case of insect farming. The mealworms are very common edible insects, Tenebrio mollitor. That's a dipteran insect. So the comparison when done, it is comparatively much lower in comparison to any piggery or livestock farming or poultry farming. The same thing with energy consumption also and land use also. In case of insect farming, it is required much lower as compared to that of livestock farming or poultry farming. Then the health benefits. Eating insects are having a number of health benefits because it provides you with a very high quality protein. Secondly, that can be it is mainly eaten in our country, it is mainly eaten in the tribal regions. Why? Because over there, they are undernourished. They don't have the option to purchase or to consume the high quality or high priced animal protein sources. So they are meeting their protein requirements by eating the insects. They were not knowing about the benefits. They traditionally, through age-long process, they are eating it. Now we are scientifically, we are undeciphering these things now that yes, this insect protein is much very good in quality, or it is the much richer source of many nutrients and all. Earlier it was not known, but age-long practice the tribals are doing, and they are consuming it, and they are much stronger than us. So it can be an excellent food supplement. They are rich in micronutrients, and the chances of transmission of zoonotic diseases are almost negligible, and that is very threatening in case of poultry farming or the beef farming or meat farming. So transmission of zoonotic diseases will be very low, hardly there is any. And yes, definitely the pathogens do attack insects, but they are attacking the arthropods, so they have no adverse effect on mammalian population. So this is a comparative chart of different commonly eaten insects, and we can see that they are having most of the commonly eaten insects, they are excellent, very good sources of protein along with the minerals like calcium and iron. Similarly, if you talk of crickets and water bugs, grasshopper we talked about. So yes, they are the rich source of calcium. Crickets are very good source of calcium and protein. Similarly, water bug is a good source of protein. Grasshoppers also are very good source of protein. The next benefit is it provides livelihood diversification. See, we all are now thinking of sustainable farming, multiple farming approaches or multiple livelihood options are to be provided to the farming community. So insect farming can be a very good option for livelihood diversification. You do not need much technical skills or capital investment, you say, for initiating the insect farming, and you can get a very good output from it. So in that case, subsequently, it will be providing a very good employment opportunity also, entrepreneurship opportunities also will be provided, and you can further expand by since you can create or you can produce varied forms of processed foods from insects or animal feeds from insects. So much more options are open. So in this way, livelihood diversification, sustainability, and social upliftment can be done with the help of insect farming. Now, some of the common insect recipes that are available in the global market. The first is weaver ant recipes, just like a bhel puri that is available in the Indian markets. In Thailand, there is a weaver ant. So during cooler seasons, the eggs of these ants are collected. It is mixed with lime, lettuce, and onion, spring, garlic, and all. And it is available, it is sold in the market. And it is relished as a very tasty diet in the Southeast countries, particularly Thailand, Southeast Asian nations. Similarly, the fried grasshoppers, bee larvae, then grasshoppers or the larvae fried, mixed with soy sauce or honey, and it is being relished as a diet in some nations. In Mexico, the grasshoppers, they are coated with chocolate and it is relished as a very good quality and high-priced snacks. Then in African nations, in Indonesia, and even in India, particularly the Birbhum district of West Bengal, then in Jharkhand region, termites are being eaten. Termites are collected, they are sun-dried, then they are grinded with chili and all, and it is relished as a chutney. It is common diet, and African nations also it is very common. Then soups are also prepared from termites, and Southeast Asian nations like Vietnam and Cambodia, it's a high-priced dish which is available in the market. It looks very similar to that of rice soup, rice malt soup, but actually it's a soup of termites. Then the other processed insects which are available in the market, mostly they are open, like the tequila flavored mealworms are available, or the fried beetles, silkworm larva, pupa, crickets, fried crickets, they're available in the market. Then in tortillas wrapped with insects, it is available in the market. They are mostly dominant in the Mexico region as well as the Southeast Asian nation. Some processed products, packed products are also available, like chocolate insect cookies or the chips, protein powders, they are also available. In India, in Northeast, I was talking about Eri silkworm. So, Eri silkworm, it is one of the most beneficial insects. Silkworm, we all know that it's of 4 types: mulberry, tassar, muga, and Eri silk. There are 4 types of silks, and India is the only nation globally where all the 4 types of silks are being produced, because we are having the populations of all the 4 types of silkworms. So among them, Eri silkworm, which is native of Northeast India, particularly Assam, there the farmers, they don't majorly rear Eri silkworm for silk. They are practicing this habit of rearing Eri silkworm in the backyard kitchen and all. Their main purpose is to collect the pupa, and that is being eaten in the market. Silk, what they are getting, we are thinking that that is the main commercial product. But for them, that is okay, we have got it, we will be selling it, that will be an additional income. But main target of rearing this silkworm is for the pupa, which is being relished as a diet. See, that's a local market of Assam region. In Jorhat region also, in the local markets, it's very much available. Then the processed products, silkworm pupa, protein is available, protein powder is available, just like that of the this Nutri-Diets powder, milk powders that are available. In the same way, the protein powder obtained from the silkworm, it is available in the market. Then the pupal oil, it is extensively, it's a very highly priced oil, the oil extracted from the pupa, and it is being extensively being used in cosmetic industries. Then this multivitamin supplements, they are being used. So one small experiment has been initiated in our center also as a part of my project, where we are evaluating the suitability of different Eri silkworm ecoraces for the Bihar condition. As the central government wants to expand this Ahimsa silk, Eri silkworm is being now the prime focus, because it's an ahimsa silk, we do not need to kill the silkworm for obtaining the silk in case of eri silk. Whereas in all the other three cases, you need to kill the pupa for reeling the silk. As in case of eri silkworm, the pupa is open-ended, so you need not to kill the silkworm pupa. Therefore, it is considered as ahimsa silk. So it is the prime focus that we need to expand the area of cultivation of this very silkworm across the India, beyond Assam or beyond Northeast. So with this objective, and we have established the different host plants of eri silkworm. There are 4 different host plants: Kaseru, Bodpath, Tapioca, and Castor. Castor and Kaseru are the primary hosts, whereas Bodpath and Tapioca are the secondary hosts. Different castor varieties are also being evaluated for seeing the performance rearing, comparing the rearing performance of the silkworm on different varieties. So bloomy varieties and non-bloomy varieties, both are being taken into consideration. We procured the different ecoraces of eri silkworm from different parts of Northeast India, as well as the local Begusarai population was also collected. We went for rearing of the different ecoraces. We did collected the eggs, did black boxing. After hatching, we reared early instars and late instars. We went for tray rearing as well as bunch feeding. Then the cocoon formation took place, and ultimately they were mated, and a fecundity aspect was also taken into consideration. So species identification was confirmed by studying the wing venation and the color patterns on the wings. The morphometric characterization has also been done, and they were found to be variability in the color patterns of the larval body, as well as the grayscale indexing of the color intensity of the wings of the adults, as well as their morphometry. Significant variations were observed. A distinct larval body pattern or ecoraces that, as I already said, we collected. So distinct patterns have been identified in the eri silkworm larvae. And then their cocoon parameters, the color of cocoon variation in the shades of the cocoon color has also been observed, along with the morphometric measurements. As I already talked, that the intensity of the color pigmentation on the wings also varied among the different ecoraces of eri silkworm. And when we evaluated the rearing performance, when if you're thinking of establishing a new insect in a new area, we need to go for evaluation of the rearing performance and to see that which very ecorace is more suitable for rearing under the particular local environmental conditions. So we evaluated the rearing performance of the worm, eri silkworm, based on its effective rate of rearing, shell weight, cocoon weight, and all. And also went for evaluating the drainage parameters like the fecundity, percentage egg hatching, and all. And we found the both among the ecoraces to be most feasible, followed by the Nampo ecorace, both from Assam, to be very suitable for, and they provide, it is just a 1-year data. We need to repeat the experiments. We are in the process of repeating the experiments. So we found that yes, it's exhibited much better performance as compared to the other ecoraces which were studied. Now, this is all about the insects that are being used as human food. Now, the insects are also being exploited. They are very good sources for the animal feed also. They are being used for poultry farming, livestock products also, even in aquaculture, as well as for pet rearing, particularly dogs and cats also. They are being efficiently being used as feed. Like in case of poultry, it has been seen that it increases the production rate and the juiciness of the meat produced from the chickens and hens. They are of much better quality and flavor. In case of aquaculture, also it is being exploited, and when to the fishes, then it has been seen that there will be a enhancement, improvement in the amino acid content in the fish oil and all, and the production cost of feeding also is being reduced. Even in pig one major problem who provides. So it is very limited in very limited parts of the world. It